Hey YouTube, this is Dan making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. So please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, Pete wanted me to test these. Now we've tried these before, but I want to try them again. That's a cotton ball with pine resin. Lighter. Both chambers have had a hole drilled in it. Completely dead. Away it goes. Couple of sparks. Now that should just... Last time we did it, the pine resin gets going and it really gets going really well. And it certainly does. I just didn't want the residue being in. Oh, I'll have to clean that out, obviously. So you get quite a good burn time because of the pine resin. Sooty. They work really well. They work really well. They're quite a good firelighter. Now, this has, by the looks of it, two of those with pine in a pine cone and resin put all the way through it. I'm going to put it in there. He wanted me to test this to see if I could boil water with it. I didn't bring any vessels out to boil water. From experience, pine cones don't burn that long. To boil water, you need at least 5 minutes, probably 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes maybe of consistent heat. And yeah, I'd view these more as just a very good fire lighter. But pine cones, like, I can stuff char cloth in there and get a pine cone going pretty hard by itself anyway. Get a fire going. So to go to the trouble of doing it all up, yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit ambiguous about. I think it's a good concept. I don't know. Anyway, we saw how easy that one was to get going. Now, I'm not going to try and touch it. I want to see, because that's got pine resin all through it. So, and it is a bit breezy here. Because I think the idea with this is, it should be a standalone fire lighter. I will, just to give it so that the fire comes up through the center of it to give it every chance of getting very easy to light. Given off a decent amount of heat, you certainly could get a fire going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get enough fire, a sustained fire long enough for it to boil water. Like, because it's going to consume itself pretty quickly. Like, that's almost over half consumed already. It's only been going for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Fair enough, the water's going to get hot. It certainly worked very well. I didn't have to do anything with it. I just turned it over so that the flame comes up underneath it. It's a very effective fire lighter, but pine cones are. And with the addition of pine resin, it just makes it even better. And as you saw, it's very easy to light. I do like that. Bit smoky. I'm glad everyone's at work. See, it's not going to be much. It wouldn't last much longer now. That'll be it's like 3/4 done. Yeah, I'm not sure. Very, very effective fire lighter. Like, very effective fire lighter. I do like that as a fire lighter, with the ability to firelight from a broken lighter or a small ferro rod. I can get a pine cone going with a big Fresnel lens. Granted, I can do that, but on a day like today that's overcast, I'd be hard pressed to do it. So it's just about done. I don't know. I doubt you'd get water boiling. It's unless you're using 2 or 3 of them, you're just not going to get the sustained 5 to 6 minutes of good solid heat that you need to get a good rolling boil on it. Especially if you want for water to be able to drink it, you want at least a rolling boil for a minute. I know that they say you only need to get it to a rolling boil, but I say a rolling boil for a minute, and then that's what I go for that. But for troublesome tinders, like if you've got wet tinder or something that's not very viable, that is a very, very good fire lighter. I really like that, Pete. That's a good idea. Just a little bit more trouble to build. You just have to take a little bit longer to build it. That's the only thing. But if you're making up pine resin, yeah, fair enough. See that little bit of flame there now. Yeah, it's pretty much over. Yeah, it's a good. That's a nice little. Fire. Yeah, I put it out, but yeah, it was just about done anyway. That is a very nice fire lighter. It's all going to be hot. Yeah, very nice fire lighter. If you had one of them and then that container filled with pine cones, I reckon you'd be able to get a good rolling boil on a container like that. That sitting on top with there, you'd get a rolling boil on that. No dramas. No dramas at all. But just by itself, I'd say you'd be hard pressed to get a rolling boil on a full container of water like that. Yeah. But as a standalone fire lighter for wet tinders and such like that, yeah, fantastic. That's a fantastic fire lighter. And those little cotton balls dipped in pine resin, I love them. They are a fantastic idea. They work really, really well, and they take a spark from a dead lighter or whatever. Yeah, we've tested them before and had great success with them. They come up really well. So that's another very viable option. Anyway, I'm going to let this whole thing cool down. Hopefully it won't smoke too much, upset everyone. I don't have too much problem. Now we're allowed to have fires, so yeah. And that smells quite nice. Pine smell, so yeah. Anyway, said I was going to do a bit of a burn test on those. So yeah. I don't think I'll test the cotton rounds. We all know I tested my own one this morning. The ones you made smell fantastic. You put some scented smells. We all know how they burn. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, birch bark. I've done the testing on that. Poplar. Inner bark. I've tested it a bit. I will keep doing bits and pieces of it. There's some punkwood in there, but I'm going to break it up and probably char some of it. We'll go from there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the fat wood, obviously. Anyway, thanks for watching.